And welcome back to Ringside Report Radio. I am Dave Simon. Kevin the Big Tuna McKough is with me, and right now, very pleased to be joined with UFC featherweight taking on Steven Siler, UFC 154 in just 3 weeks' time here on November the 17th. Mr. Darren Elkins. Darren, thank you very much for joining us.
No problem.
Now, you have a big fight coming up here against Steven Siler in Montreal. I know that you fought a couple times in Vancouver, but will this be your first time fighting here? Well, I guess it'll be your first time fighting here, but will it be your first visit entirely to Montreal?
Yeah, it'll be the first time you ever come to Montreal. You know, I've been I fought at Vancouver twice, once for the UFC and once for an organization called Bulldog, but I've never fought in Montreal, so I'm pretty excited about going there.
Now, you're training and living out in Indiana, right?
Yes.
Now, what's the weather like in November in Indiana, and are you prepared for what it's going to be like here November 17th in Montreal, or what it could be, which is pretty cold?
Yeah, the weather right now, it's, with the storm right now, it's rainy. It's like 40 degrees right now, 40, 30 degrees. Usually it starts cooling down quite a bit. You get to the high about 40 degrees, and sometimes you get the low about 30 degrees, 20 degrees. So it starts getting colder about now. It's going to be about the same weather next month. So I don't think it's going to be that much of a difference between the weather here and the weather there.
Now, as far as your fight here against Steven Siler, he's coming off a few victories in a row. But he's also been knocked out a few times. He's been submitted a few times. Where do you think is his weakest point? What are you looking to exploit in his game?
So he's pretty well-rounded. He is vulnerable. He does have a questionable chin, I guess some people call it, but he does like to stand and bang. So, hopefully I get in there and mix it up, though. And I'm good on the ground, too, so... for me, it's a fight. I mix it up. Wherever it ends up, it ends up. But I'm kind of going to be ready for everything, and I'll just watch his game, and I see his weaknesses, and I kind of want to be ready for anywhere it goes.
Now, you're riding a 3-fight win streak. You're undefeated now at 145 pounds. How comfortable are you now at featherweight compared to before at lightweight? I feel comfortable at featherweight now. The weight cuts, getting easier and easier. I fought a few times where now I can feel the strength difference between when I used to fight at 155 and when I fought at 45. And usually now I feel like I'm a stronger guy than most guys I fight, so it's definitely an advantage. So I feel real comfortable with the weight. I'm leaner, I'm more flexible at 145, so it's definitely an advantage for me.
What exactly did you do to be able to cut down to featherweight from lightweight? Was it a diet? Was it a change in your workout? What exactly was it that enabled you to be able to make that cut easily?
Mostly it's a change in my diet. I work out a little bit more of the house definitely, but mostly I changed up my diet. And I eat cleaner. Everything's clean now. I cut out all the bad in my wife and me. My wife does a lot of my dieting. She makes everything from scratch, nothing produced. I mean, it's everything lean, and it's a lot healthier for me.
With the two of you both riding a 3-fight win streak, what exactly do you believe will enable you to kind of go further in that featherweight division and earn yourself a title shot? The big thing for me is I don't get ahead of myself. This is a big fight. He's definitely a tough competitor. He's been fighting well, getting better himself. So I think one fight at a time. I really stay focused on the task at hand, and I try to put on the best performance that I can. And each fight, I feel like gets me a little bit closer. So if I keep winning, and hopefully I can start keep winning impressively, it's gonna slowly work my way up there.
And do you have any idea on how far you might be? I think that you're probably, in the top 10 right now at featherweight. How far do you think you are from reaching that, top level where you get a big fight or maybe a title shot?
I'm hoping, me, him being 3-0 featherweight now, he's got a 3-fight win streak, I should say, and I got a 3-fight win streak going on. I'm hoping, the next one gets a bigger fight, and do I know how far I am? I'm thinking maybe a few fights. I think a lot of it is, if you watch it, is not only you got to win, you got to have impressive performance, a good submission, a good knockout, or just, a good back-and-forth fight that's really entertaining. So if you have a couple of those, you move up a little bit faster. If it's not as entertaining or not as impressive, sometimes you got to win one or two more fights.
Now, of course, talking about that, you've won 3 straight, but via decision. You haven't finished in your past 3 fights, but still beating very impressive opponents. Do you feel any extra pressure to finish the fight so you can get that impressive victory, so you can really open the eyes of the MMA world?
Yeah, I go out there and I definitely look for the finish. That's one thing I've been trying to do is get more power, get more strength, really work on some submissions, and really work on my striking power. So, each fight, I'm really trying to focus on getting that. Just as of yet, I haven't got it yet, but I'm going to stay patient and just keep fighting hard.